What's up, beautiful peeps? CB Jesus here with one of my close, amazing friends who I've known for quite a while, man. I mean, I really don't remember the first time we met, but this is Justin Michael Heter Pan. Booyah!
Wait, you said my middle name.
I did.
You're not supposed to tell anyone. The reveal was taking longer. I didn't know I was going to...
It's all good. No worries. No worries. Hey, so the reason why Heter is here today.
Yeah, why am I here?
As I call him. So he has big celebrations. I mean, congratulations. I believe it was mid-December when first ever comedy musical album.
Yeah.
And what's the title?
Well, it was... What is the title?
It is a very long title.
So the title is Funny Songs for Comedy Purposes. But I worded it a little differently, spelled it. It's Funny Songs for Comedy Purposes.
So as you
said it right. That's it.
Okay, let's say it again.
I can't say it again.
Yeah,
Funny Songs for Comedy Purposes.
Boom. And you go by who am I supposed to Google to get that album?
Who do you write the check out to? You write the check out to Justin Heter Pan.
Okay.
But actually you don't. Pan's like the stage name, you know? So
we always have to have
my full name,
stage
but yeah, the stage name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm working here. I'm working on it. I don't know. But yeah, Justin Heter Pan. Heter Pan.
So this came about where you've got amazing musical experience.
Yeah.
You can play how many different instruments?
I've been playing more and more instruments in the past few years and kind of spreading my wings. I played drums for 30 years. Played professionally, I guess you could say, for the last 20. I've been on tour.
Holy cow.
Shows.
Wow.
And so drums is fun. I love drums. It's my main instrument. It's the heartbeat and it is the soul of the music. I mean, it just really I will always be a drummer. But it also got a little stale for me, and I was like, I really love playing the guitar and playing other instruments and learning about notes and chords and writing songs. You can only write so many songs on the drums. So, you know, writing songs on the guitar, and then you always get someone else to play them. And then after a few years, it's like, I'm playing these songs. I have songs. I've been in all these bands, but it's nice to have your own music. You know, I'm kind of trying to push my own career. I'm also working on the acting thing. So I was like, I need to push my name a little bit. So I started writing my own music, and my own music, it kind of varies in styles, but I originally, years ago, kind of did a funny comedy tribute act to Flight of the Conchords.
Okay, that's right.
And as a joke, we did Flight of the Conchords songs when that was, you know, hot back in early 2000s.
Oh man, there's still a huge following of Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, it's like a cult underground thing.
It's like a legendary community.
Yeah, just and so we were.
For all you young folks out there, go Google Flight of the Conchords. They're hilarious.
Pause this. Yeah. And we're back. All right, and so we started our own tribute called Flute of the Condors.
Flute of the Condors.
And we were the third most popular Flight of the Conchords tribute act out of Masonboro Island.
Whoa.
Which is hard to do.
That is very,
There's
very
no
hard to
people
do.
on that island.
Yeah, there's not that many people on that island at all.
That's a bad joke.
I don't even know if there's anybody population-wise.
There's a few rabbits and there's some crabs,
seagulls,
some birds.
Right.
They're temporarily.
Right. Masonboro is our really cool beach off the coast of Wilmington.
It's a National Wildlife Reserve. It's some of the best surfing. In
some of the best surfing.
Actually, there's no surfing there. The waves are bad. Don't go there to surf. Don't go there to surf. There's birds. Go check out the birds.
Yeah, go check out the birds. And on the back side, you can check out Sand Dollar Island, too. That's a really cool place.
So much stuff to check out. You just go check all that out and then come back. And we're back.
Enjoy a lot of music in Wilmington. We have a huge music scene. That's really the reason why you're here. But also, Heter is a very talented variety. You know, you're a man of all hats. You're like a magician.
I love to do that. A magician, musician. Try to say those two words back and forth. They kind of start to blend together. Because really, music is magic.
Music is magic.
Music is magic. You know.
Right.
And there's things you can do to people by just playing a note, by singing a song, whatever. Put them in a trance. I mean, really, it's it's close to being a magician, and also, you know, hiding and disappearing acts and just entertainment. A lot of it it blends together, and I've just always been theatrical. I loved like when I was 5-6 years old, like MTV in the 80s.
Totally.
And like Weird Al Yankovic, and like making my own movies with the camcorder. And I have all this footage of me at 9 years old singing a Rico Suave and Michael Jackson and doing like all the moves. I put the ping pong table upside down and like do the moonwalk on it and practice that and like film myself at age like 8. You know, so I was always like theatrical, but then I kind of, you know, did more studying in school and got into skateboarding, became a punk and all that. Always played music, but
same way. I mean,
didn't
it was
really keep
like
the camera going.
Punk music, reggae, right?
Yeah,
because the punk, ska, punk, reggae, and then all of a sudden, jam bands.
Yeah.
So like,
it's like
you
how strong did the weed
the
get? The weed got better, you know, so we got deeper and deeper into
after college.
You know, after college, do your homework. Say no to drugs.
Yeah. You know, here's the thing though, like, you are in one of the best jam bands in the entire region
of the
southern hemisphere.
I thought you said world. You're supposed to be blowing up.
Called Dubtown Cosmonauts.
In the region, in this block, from 4th Street to about 10th, you guys are, you know, in the Seagate area, you guys are one of the best.
Like, for an example, you're like showing up down in Charleston at the Poorhouse. That's an amazing music venue.
Playing with boombox. Well, they're playing inside, we're playing outside, so we're not technically playing with them, but we're playing in the same region as them.
Right.
But yeah, this band, Dubtown Cosmonauts, has been, I guess, a baby of mine, but also it's been a collaborative band of a lot of musicians, a lot of Wilmington musicians.
Yeah.
It started off as a side project from my band Sci-Fi with me and Tyler Simmons, Tom Shaw, Robert Sanger on bass.
Tom Shaw, amazing artist.
Nick Learmas from Slick Mahoney's, and Matthew Beatty on guitar, and then also Todd on sax. We had a whole band for a while. We were the Dubtown Cosmonauts, and originally it was Wilmington All-Stars, Dubtown Cosmonauts. We called Wilmington Dubtown. And Cosmonauts was a play off of Sci-Fi.
Of course.
And then we started losing members, one at a time, slowly losing members. But the band was like, this is a good name. It's a good idea. We have fun. I never wanted to stop it, even though I was playing in a lot of other bands.
Right.
It's just a nice, fun, local thing where we can play music and have our boys and play the music.
They've got an awesome following wherever they play.
Because like, we wanted to do original music, but then we wanted to have a band actually where we could play covers that we wanted to play. We wanted to play Allman Brothers and Fish and Widespread and Dead and like still work on original music, but we wanted to have a band where we wanted to play our favorite songs.
Exactly.
So that's what Dubtown started as.
Yeah.
And then over the years, we've had so many iterations of the band and so many people, and we always like, should we change the name? Should we, you know? And every time you change the name, you lose a lot of momentum.
It is like one of the dopest sounding bands, Dubtown Cosmonauts. I mean, think about it.
And you don't know who's in the band, but you know you're going to get a good jam show. There's going to be some originals, some covers, but it's going to be in that Fish Dead scene, you know, String Cheese and Sound Tribe and Humphreys, and we try to cover our favorite bands in that jam genre, you know?
Yeah, totally.
All the bands we see at Greenfield Lake, like we like to do the after parties, you know, bands that we love. Like we're doing an Humphreys after party, what Humphreys just announced.
420, 421, Humphreys McGee in my backyard.
Dubtown's got the after party.
I'm there.
Hopefully it's at the Duck and Dive, but don't quote me on that.
Might be at the Yacht Club. Might be at Fred's place.
Send all the messages to you know who and tell her to book us, and we'll get in there. Yeah, so the band.
Well, but like, okay, but also recently, your band came out with a new album, correct? Recently, like in the last couple of years,
Yeah, so 2 years ago, released our second album.
Sophomore effort.
Tunes from the Lagoon. The Lagoon being Greenfield Lake, which we're sitting on the edge of right now. Greenfield Lake.
Yeah.
Is actually Greenfield Lake. In our minds, in my mind, was the Black Lagoon.
Oh, most definitely.
Ways. So we have this song that I brought back from Sci-Fi Fat Ellis days. Back in the day, I had a band. This
Greenfield Lake Park has a huge lake, and actually, my god cousin was in NC State, and she would travel down with the environmental people, and they would come down here, and they would check the toxicity and the depth and like all that stuff, environmental things, alligator count and all that stuff. And they said it reminded them of prehistoric times. Everything
it's
about
a very
the
ancient
lake.
feeling spot. It's dark, murky water with giant mangrove trees, alligators just slowly creeping around.
Big alligators.
And the
I'm
coolest
talking
thing,
8 to 12
the coolest
footers.
thing is we have one of the best music venues on the East Coast. It's basically like a mini Red Rocks vibe where it's like a natural amphitheater in a way, but our natural amphitheater is this lake. And the amphitheater sits right on the edge of the lake.
Right, well, I guess you haven't heard, though.
Amazing.
Have you heard what Greenfield Lake Amphitheater was just named?
No.
So this is a good thing to share with the folks, too, because, you know, as you've seen on CB Jesus, you see a lot of One Tree Hill locations on my page, and One Tree Hill plays, you know, did a lot of stuff at the lake, and also Halloween and Swamp Thing, which I'm on. I believe you're also on Swamp Thing. Is that correct?
Yep.
What did you do on Swamp Thing?
I was one of the best things I've ever done in film industry.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing. So I got the most ever costume, hair, makeup, special effects that I've ever gotten. I was like at the film studio.
That's a lot of fun. It
stage.
takes how many days?
So I was in the trailer for like 2 hours getting. I was a Confederate soldier with my stomach blown open from a cannonball blast.
Wow.
And I had guts hanging out of me, and I was in a full Confederate outfit. And I was in the trailer while the Swamp Thing guy, was getting his swamp mask on and all that.
What's his name? Adam? Oh, man. I can't remember his name.
So I had actual, like, you know, the full special effects.
So it was like a flashback scene.
It was a flashback scene, and
did it ever make it into the show? Because I don't remember that scene at all.
You know who I am? Hell no.
Oh,
it got cut. Best thing I ever did. Got cut.
Heter's stuff gets cut a lot.
One of those things
we don't understand.
We don't understand why it gets cut, but it's a mystery. But
it is a mystery.
They ran out of time. They kind of rushed the scene. You could tell they were rushing. So I think whatever they got that night, they weren't really happy with it.
Okay.
But we were in the Soundstage Studios, which looked like Greenfield Lake at night inside the studio. They had a lake, they had a boat, John boat inside the stage.
Stage 10.
And there's Swamp Thing. He's coming out of the water, and there's a flashback where they're showing all the times that people have died at that swamp over the years, and how it's like a haunted thing. So I was one of the guys. I was one of the guys that got blown out with the cannonball blast to the gut, and I'm this Confederate soldier, and it was super cool. And everyone else that was with us, they were all featured extras. That none of us had lines, but we all had really
great costumes,
epic ways of dying. One had a bullet to the head. One had rope from being choked. Different. Some had like knife cuts, and everyone had. It was very gory. Yeah. It was really epic special effects.
James Wan, folks. James Wan.
That was really cool.
Well, so you got to do that, which sounds awesome because also, he's talking about Screen Gem Studios, and anytime you guys want to come,
now
which is now Cinespace.
But then we got Dark Horse Studios.
Dark Horse Studios just actually released that they've got a 40,000 square foot facility coming onto the lot. They broke ground about, 4 or 5 months ago, maybe, something like that. And the good news is about that is, going back to the lake, Greenfield Lake Amphitheater. Our amazing amphitheater where we have acts from Rodrigo E. Gabriela
Willie Nelson played there.
Willie Nelson to Lucas Nelson to Dark Star Orchestra, Humphreys McGee.
Big Something plays there.
All the Marleys play there. It's an
Grizz plays there. He plays the big amphitheater now, but he plays there. It's an epic amphitheater, small, very small.
So what just happened was Greenfield Lake Amphitheater was named the #1 in the United States of America small venue, most sellouts for Live Nation.
That's
That's epic.
I need to find that and share that, because that's important.
That's epic.
That's big. That is really big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So like
awesome.
Red Rocks is probably the top, maybe one of the top big ones.
Because it is only 1,000 people, it is easier to sell out. Yeah. So I understand that. No,
1175.
So around it's 1,000 versus a place with like 5,000 or something, you know. So it is easier to sell out. But the fact that they've gotten big enough artists to play those small things.
Over 52, I believe it was 56 sellouts last year.
Well,
while people were just coming out of the pandemic.
Here's what's cool about it is it's the right.
And yes, I did say pandemic. They plan this shit.
It's the right size venue where, say, there's 1,200 people that can be there, where they can get a big enough artist to do a small show, like Willie Nelson. The big artist can go there and do a nice small show that sells out, or they can have a smaller band like up and coming, and they can like work their ass off and sell 900 tickets or whatever, and it's basically sold out, and you get a small act. So it's not, you know, it's a good stage for a lot of variety of acts.
And a lot of the community local music acts get to use it as well. So we put festivals on there like Jerry Day.
Yeah, Dubtown played it for
Dubtown
played Festival Tunes and Blooms last year.
Tunes and Blooms, which Delilah said that she's going to do that again this year. Awesome. I ran into her about 3 months ago in Carolina Beach. Maybe when it was a little warmer. Maybe it was 4 months ago. I really can't remember. But she was like jamming at the little, it used to be a taco joint. It used to be a seafood restaurant also.
I'm really hungry right now.
Well, I might be able to grab a snack here in a little bit for coming over and hanging out, you know what I mean? So what's interesting, back to you, as an actor, we all know we go through the process.
Oh yeah, we're here to promote something.
We get the audition, you know, and then we're called in. And if it's not lines, we go in, we get featured, and we have a good time. But for some odd reason, Heter's shit always gets cut. And
except for Welcome to Flatch.
Welcome to Flatch. See, you guys can check him out on Hulu, which has got Welcome to Flatch.
No, I don't always get cut.
Unfortunately, Welcome to Flatch just got canceled.
That was more of a joke from earlier, but you're making it like you're putting it out in the world. Like, Heter always gets cut. No matter what, he gets cut of everything. He's never been on anything ever. You'll never see him.
Oh, you'll see Heter everywhere.
You'll see it.
You'll see Heter everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of rejection. I mean, I've done so many auditions and so much just absolute rejection. And you get so close, you think you're getting something. And then, like, I auditioned for Pam and Tommy, for the guitar player for Motley Crue. And that thing,
that awesome.
Series came out and was awesome. And that would have been so cool to go out to LA and be Mick Mars.
Yeah.
And,
no, I mean, you know, it's great because here's the thing. I watched a video the other day. I think it was Bryan Cranston, or it could have been George Clooney, but one or the other. Actually, you know what? It was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was in an interview the other day, and he was saying that every audition is a job. So it's a job for us.
Yeah, I look at it.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, I definitely look at it like you never know who's looking at these auditions. Because even if you don't get the part, think of like, all right, someone in LA is in some house with whoever behind them.
Or Atlanta.
Who knows? Or
Chicago.
Atlanta, but let's just say in Hollywood, they open up this little tab, and here comes Justin Heter Pan doing this little horrible audition, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And they're like joking, and then who knows? Seth Rogen is in the back just sitting there smoking a bong. He's like, "Wait, who is this idiot trying to do this? Oh, go back to that guy." And they're just sitting there smoking bongs, watching me on repeat, and never cast me. And they're like, "That guy will never get work." Hey, I feel like that's good enough, you know, for them to just see that video. So. It's cool that I can even get videos in the hands.
But lately, you have been getting good roles. You've been getting some bank commercials.
Just I got one bank commercial. I got a dog food commercial where I was a hand model.
Whoa! See, I mean, the variety that this kid brings to the table is outstanding, folks. Outstanding.
Do it all. Just I sell my body. My body's for sale. Whatever you need. You know, let's do it. I'm learning all the instruments. I'm learning all the trades, except I won't clean shit or toilets.
Yeah. Those days are.
But I mean, I work. I mop the floors, you know, at Wilson Center.
Well,
he's
stage crew like me. I'm also stage crew. We work together at Live Oak.
Get the tools out. I get grease on my hands. I get
Yeah.
grease, as long as you got something to wash it off with later. I got the grease on there, you know.
Yeah. Wilson Center stage crew sucks. I always got injured there. Always got injured there.
Hold on.
He's been having a good time there, but it gets dark.
We're getting political here.
It's a little spooky.
Polycharged?
It's a little
polycharged here.
It's a little spooky. In fact, what happened to you last time you were there when you had an accident?
Why are you calling this up?
I'm totally calling out because
on stage during a Broadway musical?
Yes.
When a door went into
Yes. This was like a couple months ago. Right?
Well, yeah, it was a couple months ago. I mean, it's you get injured on stage, especially when things are dark, and then all of a sudden there's flashing lights, and then there's fog, and then there's people pulling doorways closed, and then someone's flying in the air to be whatever, and then people are singing and dancing, and they're twirling, and they're taking off their clothes and putting on new clothes. It's like everything's happening like this. And we don't even know because every time it's a new show and they don't tell you exactly what you're going to be doing. So you're just thrown in the mix. You're wearing all black. No one can see each other.
See what I'm telling you? We're all dark. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but so you got to keep your eyes out. You're always looking everywhere. And I'm very good at that. I'm looking up, I'm looking down. And I'm like making sure I'm seeing what's going on. I don't know exactly the ins and outs of each play, but
what happened in this incident?
So in this incident was the last of like 2 or 3 shows. It was the last minute of a 3-hour musical, and they were about to go out and they're doing their last number, and someone is going to be closing a door, and I'm going to walk out and pull something off stage, dark, so the audience can't see me. I have to wheel something off. So I'm waiting for, this light to go like this, and then, and then basically I walk out, and I hit this door as it was coming close, and it wasn't even that bad. It was just like a boom, hit the door, no big deal. Okay, I got hit for a second. Let me go out and do my thing. And then a few minutes later, I'm like bleeding, and I got like a pirate scar on my eye.
Oh, that's brutal.
And, but yeah, things just happen really quick. You get hurt, you get injured doing random things. Like you just have no idea. When you go on set, especially when you go on set to act, you never know what you're going to be doing. It might say this in the script. You do something completely different.
Very much so.
You might do something a little more than they're asking for, just to be like, hey, I'm a good actor. Look, I can fall like Chris Farley. And next thing you know, you like break your pinky. So I've gotten hurt a lot of different ways doing a lot of stupid shit, but
well, Wilson, I got hurt.
They take care of you up there.
I love the people in Wilson. The atmosphere a little sketchy, but it's
I love it, man.
It's a little
Keep
sketchy.
on your toes. Like working with Broadway musical theater people is awesome. I mean, everyone's got personality, and people are. It's fun because they're like dramatic and they're singing. Whenever there's like a Broadway or something. Whenever you're loading in or loading out, everyone's kind of like talking about what that is, singing the songs or like coming up with lines from it and making little jokes about what we're going to see that night.
But here's the difference between...
it's like film, but like within one night. Like the film crew, it's like filming a movie, but in one night you do it all. You see it all.
You were able to work a lot of the shows, and that's what you continue to do, which does sound like a lot more fun than just the grunt work of load in
just
and
doing the
load out.
Is one thing.
I was doing load in and load out, and these hours were crazy, man. I mean, we get there at 6 a.m. to do load in. That takes about 3 to 4 hours to do load in.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I get takeoff of carpenters. Right? I've been on Carpenters for about, 3 to 4 months, which I love doing because I got to work with a lot of cool people. All of a sudden, I get put as a loader inside the truck, going back and forth. That's when...
You just got to do all the jobs.
You got to do all the jobs. You got to do all the jobs.
They'll hire you for
There was a dude in front of me.
You have to do all of it.
There was a dude in front of me that almost got crushed by a musical case. That's
you should have kept your eyes on it. Diamond that case. Diamond that case.
Yeah, dude.
Diamond that case.
I was working with a bunch
2 hands.
of...
Hold it from the top. Pull it from the bottom.
I was working with a bunch of tips,
hamburger,
man.
hot dog.
Come
on, man.
But we have a lot of fun over at Live Oak.
Yeah, Live Oak is pretty fun.
Live Oak is cool because it's a whole different scene. It's outdoors. It does get hot, don't get me wrong, and it's swampy, man. It's called the swamp for a reason, right?
It is the swamp down there. Well, this is the swamp, but that's like, we call it the swamp because it's a hot stage to work. The sun is beaming down.
Yeah.
It gets real muggy.
fucking blockade, whatever that thing's called. What's that thing called? The blockade that we got to put together. What do we call it these days? I can't remember what it's called.
The fence?
Yeah, but it's called something, man. Yeah, the barricade. The barricade. Putting this barricade
I don't know if the audience
together
cares
is
about
like...
this. Like, what are we talking about?
A barricade? Oh, man.
Put a barricade together.
It's called...
Have you guys ever done work before? It's hard. Putting things together and pushing them together and sweating.
Well,
it's hard.
You know, on this channel, we support stage crew, we support IATSE, you know, we support actors, we support the crew, the cast, and everybody else in between. So it's not easy putting that fucking barricade together at all. And the audience,
everyone just likes to bitch about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone likes to bitch about when you get something like, oh, we gotta go do that. It's like, you signed up to work. Yeah. So this is what are you doing? What else you got to do?
They do take good care of us. We get coffee, donuts, really cool, crafty, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we get the classic and coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
You know.
So lately, also since you released your comedy album, which is amazing by the way, it's funny as shit.
I appreciate it.
If shit can be funny, it's funny.
I don't know
amazing.
How it came out that way. It's I needed to laugh. It was a rough period in my life, and I was watching comedy, and I was like, keep laughing, keep staying positive. And then because we're talking about the Live Nation thing, I wanted to record this song about Live Nation, and I wanted to get that out, and I just thought it was fun. And it was a fun project to get me through my hard times and keep me positive. So I recorded that, and then I was like, you know what, that was actually kind of fun. I recorded this whole thing, played all the instruments, recorded the vocals, did everything in my house, in my little studio, on my little laptop.
That's
all of it together.
unbelievable.
Mixed it, edited it, and produced the whole thing. And then I was like, let me do another song. I did Spicy Spaghetti. I was like, that came out actually pretty good. So I was like, well, let me get the next one out. So I did the next one. Next thing you know, I got 8 recorded. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just going to keep rolling. So then I had 14 songs.
Jeez.
Well, actually I had 13, and I was like, I need to sum this album up somehow. I can't leave them on a dark note. Because it took me a while. I don't know if you really looked at the track order. Yeah. But the track order is very specific. Kind of puts you in a mood and takes you on a journey. And so, you know, it starts off lighthearted. And it's a kid's album. The first song is a kid's song. You know, it's funny about spicy spaghetti. It's a love song, but it's a stupid thing about spaghetti. And then it kind of gets a little darker, you know, but midway through, you kind of like in a little slump there, and then a pirate comes out, and by the end, there's just the horrible lullaby. It like takes you to like a creepy, dark place, and then it kind of, and I was like, well, that's a good way to take the album that way. But then I was like, I don't want to leave them like that, so I did this stupid outro thing, that kind of talking to the audience, kind of a comedy bit. I think that was really cool when I heard that for the first time. Yeah, you don't usually hear that. It was kind of merging comedy and music. So it's like the whole thing is a musical comedy, but there's also lead-ins into the songs and talking and kind of... I mean, truly amazing comical characters. Yeah. You created a lot of characters yourself. Yarr, we got Jack Rack the Pirate. And then we got the old Italian. Oh, it's so nice. It was spicy spaghetti. You know? Yeah. Hey, ¿qué pasa, man? It's Carlos. Yeah, we're gonna go down to the sea. You know, and having like the characters. So each song has like a character. Yeah. You know? And so I noticed this is the character. He's singing this song. So some of the songs... Total different vibe on each one. Is by Chef Boyardee. Right. It's not me. Okay. You know, it's not a guy. And each one there's characters throughout. Yusuf Young is another character. It's like if Neil Young and Cat Stevens had a baby. Right. A gay baby. Yusuf Young. Yeah, so that's Yusuf Young. You got a really cool Tale of a Town. You got a really cool like hip hop beat going on. Yeah, some J Pan and J Pan. Yeah, DJ Heat. I think it was. Whatever those guys are called. So some hip hop on there. I mean, I'm not a rapper, and you will find that out real quick. But I just said, fuck it, and I just went with it. And totally. I like having variety of sounds, and it's not supposed to be taken seriously. This isn't like, check out this hip hop song I made. Right. You know, it's like, check out this dumbass hip hop song. No, but I like making beats and I like recording, so it's fun. It's actually a cool beat. I mean, I honestly think the funniest thing to me about this album is how bad the beats are. Okay, because there's a few that are like decent. You can definitely, but being a drummer of 30 years, every album I've been on, I try my best for the drums, and the drums are sick on some Dubtown, ESP. Some other albums I've been on, like the drums. Yeah. But this was more about like the vocals, the guitar, like the song. And the beat was just like, okay, each song kind of like either has a drum beat or doesn't. And I use different ways. Some are real drum sets, some are electronic, the pad. But I wrote every beat, played every beat. But the beats aren't like anything incredible, you know? So there's a few that are, oh, that's a good beat. But
I totally disagree with them.
There's not great
drumming. I mean, it's a phenomenal album all the way through. It's like really chill when it starts out, and it's just like very like, oh, spicy spaghetti, and then all of a sudden you go on a ride and you're like in like you feel like you're underneath the sea, and then like you're next thing you know you're like riding in a car and you're just like boom, boom, boom.
So what you're saying is exactly what I'm most proud of this album is each song has a theme. It's thematic in that when you hear, this has never happened in most other music that I've recorded and been on with other albums, is when I hear every song, I can close my eyes, I can see a music video. Right. I can see like Lonely Island or Saturday Night Live, like a video, like a funny video.
Totally.
And versus other music I've been a part of, it's like, what would we do for the music video for this? And it's like, I guess we could be playing in the background, I guess we could be walking down the street, or we could be surfing or something, but like when you hear this album, you're like, oh, that's a hilarious chef that's making spaghetti, that's making a mess, and looking at the camera. You know, every song, like you can see it and envision it. So I really would love to make music videos for each of these songs.
Oh, it would be incredible.
You know, so I really want to.
Well,
do that.
we've got the crew. We got the equipment.
Would you like to be on this album's music video?
Hey, man.
Slide into the DMs. Let us know your thoughts.
Living in Wilmington, we have a lot of benefits here. We have an amazing music scene that has come back from the dead, basically, because now we have music venues and we have a lot of stuff going on, and when you're in Wilmington, you're going to be able to check out Heter also. He'll be playing in Dubtown Cosmonauts. He does solo gigs. In fact, we got to talk about a really big solo gig that's coming up. I believe it's February 8th at the Dead Crow Comedy Club.
Dead Crow. This is the first time I've ever booked a comedy room. I've always been a musician my whole life, so I play at bars, venues, events, festivals. Never played a comedy room. I've done a little like stand-up here and there, but I never actually booked a night there. So it'll be like a quick hour before they do, on Thursdays, they do open mic comedy. So after my show, there's going to be a whole slew of comedians, local comedians, doing 5 minutes. It's going to be great.
Okay.
So before that, I'm going to do my act, and it's the album release, and it's at Dead Crow Comedy Room in Wilmington, February 8th, 7 o'clock sharp.
7 o'clock
sharp. And yeah, it's going to be like, pieces of the album and doing a whole musical comedy show and just getting weird. And hopefully
I can't wait
people
to be
are down because it's not like a regular comedy show. I don't even know what it is, but it's a little bit of, I'm just going to get up there and wing it and play a bunch of these songs and talk a little about them, get in character, I guess, and just drink.
Now wait, when you say get in character, you have so many different characters that you have to get into voice-wise and also expression-wise.
Switching. These are tricks of the trade that shouldn't be on this, but because it's like this is an underground podcast, we can talk about it. We're talking to the people in the industry, but I want to be talking about going from characters to characters, and if this is a character right now, am I playing a character? Are you playing a character? Do we play characters?
But I'm playing a character. I'm playing CBG.
That's you, though. So. That's who you are. Of course, what do you mean you're playing in? That's who you are. I don't know if there's anything else. But yeah, for this album, it is actual characters. And one song is a voice. It is a character. He's got a theme. He acts in a certain way. And then the next song is a different character. And I can't just go in there and sing them and not be in character.
Right.
I think it would be it wouldn't be as good of a show if I just went in there and was like, let me sing the song, and it's, each one has a character. So I feel like getting into character and merging acting and comedy and music,
right?
Because those are some of the best comedic shows. Jim Carrey or
Totally.
someone where it's like they bring in those characters, and they, there's bits between them and the voices, like old school Adam Sandler. Where he would go and like sing about the goat, my fucking goat, that song he sings in a voice. That's not his real voice.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna have a bad Italian accent. People are gonna talk crap about me. They already have, and like that's racist. And it's like, well, I love Italians, and some of my family's Italian, or even Mexican. I go to Costa Rica all the time. I speak Spanish a lot.
Yeah.
I like voices, and I like characters. So I'm not saying, it's not like a racial thing. Doing it, it's just fun to do characters and do voices, and some of my voices are pretty bad.
You are a culturally enhanced variety entertainer. Does that make sense?
That's a very nice way of putting it.
Well, listen, folks, we've had fun here today with Heter Pan, and
CB Jesus.
Yeah, you know it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Blessings,
Hell yeah.
blessings. Peace.